And I'm Jack, and for the last 7.5 months we've been rebuilding this 51-year-old Viscount caravan from the ground up.
Yeah, it was our first ever renovation that we'd ever tackled, so a little bit more involved than perhaps we were originally expecting, but yes, 7.5 long months later.
And we're still together.
We've finally reached the finish line, and we're so excited to share it with you guys today because it's actually turned out better than we ever expected.
Yes, we are incredibly happy with it, and we are going to get straight into it today, and we're going to start with the interior.
Okay, so welcome to a finished Myrtle. If this is the first video of ours that you're seeing, the caravan's name is Myrtle, by the way. And also, if you've never seen our channel before, we actually lived in a troop carrier traveling Australia for almost 3 years. And I feel like that's where we got a lot of our inspiration and our knowledge for really maximizing the space in here. And it honestly feels so open, and we have more storage than we even know what to do with. So if you hear me comparing things to Troopy life, that's why. So as you first come into the caravan, you come into our kitchen, which is the same as the original Myrtle. It just worked out best for the space. So like we said, we did strip everything right back because we did have a little bit of water damage throughout the caravan. So,
a lot.
Yeah, really everything had to go, but we really wanted to keep 70s inspiration throughout the caravan, so that's sort of why we've got the pastel coloured cupboards, and then we tried to do a lot of wood paneling throughout and just a few little 70s touches, which we'll talk about as we go through. But with the kitchen, the first thing we've got is our beautiful speckled bench tops, which again we thought was a little bit of a 70s vibe. And the first thing a lot of people do when they come in is knock on these thinking that they're stone, but they're actually an 18mm laminate. So very, very light, and we're very happy with them. We've got our splashback tiles here, which are actually a stick-on vinyl splashback. We did receive some comments after we did the video putting them up that they may not do very well in the Australian heat, but we'll see how we go. Another thing that we'll see how we go with is an induction cooktop. So we've got the Thetford Domino induction cooktop from Caravan RV Camping, which we've never travelled with induction before, and the whole caravan is completely gasless. So again, I think there's some mixed reviews on travelling with induction, but as Jack will tell you a little bit later, we think we definitely have enough power to run it without any worries. We've got our sink here, which we've got hot and cold water running to, which we're going to be very happy about. This was a gift from a friend of ours, which I think I have to talk about because they lived in a caravan for years as well, so they understand that things like this are very useful because, you know, you can stick that down and then they slot into each other and all that sort of thing.
They're not going to go anywhere.
Yes. I still need to stick it down though. One of Jack's favourite things in the whole caravan is, of course, the coffee machine, which we've never had anything like that before, but
so we splurged out a bit.
Since we got the space, this was my birthday present this year. We've got a hand towel rail just sitting up here as well, and again, I tried to get all the 70s vibes in, but what's funny about this is as I was going back through all of our old footage when we were moving into the caravan, the cupboard lining inside original Myrtle was this exact pattern. So I thought that was really cool. Another thing we are not going to know ourselves with when we get on the road is a massive fridge and freezer.
Which we have somehow filled.
Yeah, she's a little bit messy right now. But yeah, for years and years and years we just travelled with one of those chest,
60
is that what they're called?
Yeah,
chest.
60 litre England.
And the freezer is deceptively large as well. You can fit a whole lot in there. So that is another Thetford appliance from Caravan RV Camping. Stoked with that. Do you want to swap around and I'll show you these cupboards?
Yeah.
So we've got all of our appliances and things in here, even an air fryer, toaster. We've got a pull-out bin. So that's going to be amazing. Our cutlery drawer is very satisfying to me because everything just fits perfectly. We've got plates and bowls in here, which I feel like this is why I like putting out videos to other people that are interested in caravans, because anyone else that I tell is not going to be as excited about this. But these are plastic and they're so light, and I just thought they were really chic. So I was excited about them, and yes, excited to share it with other people that might get excited about it as well. And the bottom drawer, we have just got our cookware, and that's about it really. So over here we've got our pantry, and again, first renovation, not the most functional use of the space. What we really would have liked to do was a bifold door here, so it was a bit easier to access. We tried for about 12 hours to make a bifold door and couldn't figure it out. So this is a little bit awkward, I will say, to get into, but you know, we need to remember that it's a caravan, so
yeah,
no matter what, it's always going to be more functional than the space we had in the Troopy, so happy with it anyway. But we might end up swapping our pantry there for this cupboard, whereas this is just a miscellaneous junk cupboard at the moment. We've
the most exciting part.
Okay, so like we said, more storage than we know what to do with, and we honestly had nothing to store up here, so we thought, why not do something a little bit special? I feel like the reason that we've been able to live on the road for so long is because we always try and make things feel like home. And we thought, you know, why not go one better than home and make it feel like a bougie hotel room? So once upon a time, Jack and I went on a holiday that had a bar in the hotel room, and we just thought that was the coolest thing ever.
It was amazing.
We decided to put a bar inside of Myrtle.
Guys, leave your comments down below, because Megan did this all by herself. She spent hours and hours, days doing this, and I'm so proud of her.
Well, again, we just... Thank you, darling. We wanted the vibe of a 70s drinks cart, or, well, you know, when you go into old 70s houses, and a lot of them would have bars built in. So we wanted that vibe. So we'll start over here.
Oh, it's so cool, guys.
We have got our coupes hanging up there. Very happy with that. And then we've got all of our tools for cocktail making up here. We've got drinking glasses here, which are actually, there's foam there, so they're not going to go anywhere. Except for that still needs to get
We get it glued back down.
glued down. And then over here we've got our garnishes for cocktails as well.
Amazing.
We also have lighting running across that cabinet, so at night it just gives a really, really beautiful glow. We actually have lighting running underneath all of our cupboard kickboards, so at night we turn off these down lights and we just have all the little fairy lights glowing, which has been amazing. And the last thing for our kitchen is we've got a fan here as well, which extracts and it blows cool air if we ever need it as well.
And it doesn't leak.
Surprisingly.
Alright, so the power setup. One of my favourite things in the caravan. It has turned out amazing and we couldn't be happier with it. So we'll start from the roof. We've got 1200 watts of solar, which we didn't realise is a lot. We've had a lot of people say, oh my god, you have 1200 watts, how did you even get that on there?
It was a struggle.
It was a struggle.
Oh my god, oh my god! Ah!
Don't let go. Bring it forward. But we made it work. It's nice and secured up there, so we're really happy with that. I haven't even seen it go down to 85% battery, and before you know it, it's back up to 100 when you wake up in the morning. First bit of sun, bang, the batteries are charged. So that was amazing. I actually did all of this myself. I didn't know anything about electrical setups. I didn't know anything about wire slides. I knew nothing. So it has somehow worked. But we will start with the batteries. If I haven't said yet, it's all Renogy gear. There's a bundle available, the Jack and Megan bundle on Caravan RV Camping. So if you want to go check it out, we'll put a link in the description. You can go have a look. But we'll start with the batteries. We've hidden them in a battery box behind this panel here. They're two 200 amp hour lithium iron phosphate batteries equaling up to 400 amps. So we have 400 amps of battery power. You come over to here, we've got a DC-DC charger which allows you to hook up to your car when you're driving and it charges the batteries. I'm pretty sure it's 60 amps gets pumped in when you're driving along. We haven't had to use that yet, but it's a good peace of mind to have that there. We've got two MPPT controllers. So we have two lots of 600 watt solar coming down, and basically 600 watt goes into one and 600 watts goes into the other. We come down to our 3000 watt Renogy inverter, which has an inbuilt automatic transfer switch. So when we connect up to shore power or caravan park 240 volt power, it automatically switches all the 240 volt plugs over to the shore power, as well as charges our batteries if they need charging. And we've got a remote switch where you just press a button and it turns the unit on and off when you need to use it. So we'll come down to our Bluetooth modules here. We've got three Bluetooth modules. One runs the DC-DC charger, tells us how much is coming in, and the other two run the two MPP controllers, and it tells us how much solar's coming in. I mainly wanted to keep all the wires hidden, and I think that's what we've done. It's the first thing I show everyone when they come in the caravan. I'm like, have a look in there. So we're really happy with it. We had it going for, I think, 4 weeks now, and we have not had one problem with it so far. It'd be interesting to see how it goes when we hit the road and we're using the induction and all that kind of stuff. But like I said, the solar has been pumping in the amps and we've had no problems with it at all. And here we got the Renogy one core controller. Basically tells us everything we need to know about our power and what's going on with it, and we can keep an eye on how much power's left in the batteries and all that kind of stuff. We've got our outdoor switch and our indoor downlights. And one thing we really wanted in the caravan was a charging drawer. Reflecting back on the Troopy days, we would have wires going everywhere and all our appliances just all over the place. So we ended up building this drawer, which I never, ever, ever want to build a drawer again. I think it's just me that's not good at it, but I'm pretty sure they're hard to build. But we got there in the end. And we've now got 4 240 volt plugs, 2 USBs and 2 USB-C charging points. So now we can just chuck everything in this drawer, close it, and not have arguments about wires running everywhere. So we're very happy with that.
Welcome to our lounge room slash dining room slash office space. This is the original shape of Myrtle's table, but what we ended up doing to make room for our bathroom was cutting down the original lounge chair so that that could shift forward and we could fit the bathroom. So in turn we ended up cutting down the length of the table as well. That was a really roundabout way of saying all of that.
But we got there.
I hope you're following along. And yes, this is the original 51-year-old foam under here that we had reupholstered in brown. The original orange was a little bit too much for us. But that being said, if you guys remember, if you've been here from the start of the series, these are Myrtle's original cushions original curtains made into a cushion. We wanted to be able to keep as many little parts of Myrtle as possible, so that brings us to our little clown friend here as well. He is from original Myrtle. We have no idea what his story is, but I think we should make up some sort of backstory for him. Our little wall shelf here, very happy with how it turned out. Again, it was another thing that I was Pinteresting mid-century modern wall shelves for a while, and yeah, we came up with this design. It actually started out life as purely just a way to hide mistakes from our bathroom. So there is a whole lot of pop rivets hidden with that shelf.
You'll never know.
But you'll never know. So mission successful with the shelf.
Yeah.
Another thing that we are not going to know ourselves with is having a complete wardrobe inside here.
It's pretty cool.
I'm still in shock, but I ended up buying a lot of little things from Kmart so that we could store a little bit more. So I've got some drawers here and a hanging organizer thing.
It works great.
Which, yes, as long as we stuff the clothes in right, we haven't had any issues with things falling out of that. We've also got a full-length mirror on the front here. It's not the best. It's one of those acrylic ones that makes you look strange, but it's better than nothing. And under here is where we're storing all of our shoes, our dirty washing basket, and we've also got a stick vacuum, which we are very excited to have as well. No more dustpan and brush. Our bedside table is essentially our toiletry cupboard, I guess you could say. Again, I got a few things from Kmart so that we've got some drawers that we don't have to build ourselves, so that is a win-win. And yes, lots and lots of storage space under there.
Alright, so over to our bathroom. Just before we get into it and tell you all about it, thank you to our viewers. You guys left so many comments after we said we weren't going to put a bathroom. The reason we weren't going to do it is because we didn't have the confidence. We just didn't know how to do it. But we put a video out saying that we weren't going to do it, and you guys left some amazing comments and we did it. It gave us the confidence. So it has turned out amazing. So how we've built it is we've used aluminium composite paneling on all 4 sides, and it's put together with pop rivets, angle, glue and Sikaflex. So it's really waterproof in here. Megan's done an amazing job with her Roman clay. Took her so long. What we did was we basically added a bit of pink paint to a gyprock kind of material and mixed it up, and she's just scraped that on there, and it took a very long time, but well worth it. We've used the Caroma brass shower head and mixer there, and it gives it a nice look. We've put a shower base which we've cut down to make fit the shower base there, and we've put wood paneling over it just from Bunnings. It was just a floor mat you can buy that's already pre-made, and we cut it down to fit again. We've gone with a Thetford toilet. Now, we travelled Australia for 3 years using a Thetford toilet, and we never had any problems with it, so we've just gone with a bigger one now because we can fit it. We got our shower hooks here for our towels. We've got a Max fan with an LED light and the exhaust fan, which works really great. I've had a shower in here. Megan hasn't yet. We're going to save that for another vlog so we can get a reaction, but it was very good. And we've got this sliding door here, transparent sliding door, which is a little bit see-through, but it'll do the job. And we finished off this arch with a nice pinch weld around here so we wouldn't cut ourselves when we're coming in and out. But that's pretty much it with the bathroom. Again, thank you to everybody that made us do it because it has turned out amazing.
Okay, so I feel like the bedroom is probably my favourite place in the whole caravan, which isn't a good thing because I just want to spend all day in bed because it's so cozy and I'm obsessed with it. So we've got a full-sized queen bed, which is amazing. I'm going to be saying that a lot. So the bedroom was actually the first thing that we completely finished and ticked off the list. So it was a little bit earlier on in our renovation journey, so there's a few things that are a bit hay going, but we're still very, very happy with it. This wall we were a little bit worried about as well. We thought it might make the space feel too claustrophobic, but it just feels really, really cozy, so we're super happy with it. We have got our wood paneling vibe going on throughout the whole bedroom. First of all, on the front of the bed base here, along with our diesel heater vent. We've got it on our bed head, which we were very happy with the way that it curved around. I don't think when we were designing it, we really took into account the fact that the pillows would kind of
cover it up.
Yeah, cover that design there, but still very happy with it. And we've got storage in here as well, which we've just been using to store pajamas and random cords and all that sort of thing. Speaking of cords, we have got phone chargers on either side, so USB and USB-C, hey?
Yeah.
Originally, we wanted that charging drawer as a way to battle our phone addiction so that we could plug our phones in at night and put it in a drawer, but
those addictions are still there.
Yeah, so now we have them next to the bed instead. We also have next to the bed our diesel heater control panel and our inverter switch, and then we also have that wood paneling all the way across the back as our bookshelf. I think that was again something kind of like that wall shelf that started off as how do we fix this mistake, or how do we, because I think it was the ceiling, wasn't it?
Yeah.
We didn't quite get the ceiling right, so then we're like, okay, now how do we just put a strip across the back there and make it look nice? So
we got there in the end.
Yeah, and I could not be happier to have an actual bookshelf. That's just insane. Another thing that we could not be happier with is having a skylight above the bed. I feel like that was something that we really, really wanted from the beginning. And this was one of the very first things that we put into the caravan at all. So it's a Finch Australia skylight. It's got a blackout blind and also a fly screen as well. Another little cozy addition that we have got in our bedroom is, you might notice this window here does not have curtains like the rest of our windows. It has got a white roll down blind, and the reason for that is we have a projector screen. We might end up doing a frame so that we could slot it in up here maybe, but for now we've got a projector that just sits right here and it projects across that whole wall there. And it's amazing.
We can watch YouTube, Netflix, anything we want, so it's really cool.
So, so happy with it. And I think the last thing that we really need to talk about in our bedroom is this, which I'm going to keep rolled up because it's so big. This was a gift from one of our viewers. Thank you so much, Rosie in the Blue Mountains. Ever since we started this renovation project, she has been crocheting this blanket for us.
7.5 months.
She sent us that just as we had finished up the renovations, and it's just amazing. You can tell that just so much love went into it, so we're very, very grateful for that. Thank you again. We've also got a lot of storage space under the bed as well, but we've got a few other things going on in there that I'll pass you back to Jack to explain.
Alright, under the bed I've managed to put 3 gas struts, which were an absolute mission, but we got there in the end. So that holds the bed up when we want to gain access to under here. Basically what we've got in here is just our suitcases. If we ever go international, we got our suitcases with us. We can just fly off on a holiday or something, I don't know. But we've got them there. We've got our diesel heater here, AU focused diesel heater, the most simplest thing to install, and like Megan said before, it makes this caravan so hot. It's been so good through these winter days. So we've got that sitting there. And over on the far left, we've got our water pump. We've got a hot water system that holds 10 litres of hot water. You can have 5 to 10 minute shower with that. And basically that side of the bed is all plumbing. So that's come up really nicely. And again, look at all this storage under here. We don't know what to do with ourselves. So that's pretty much it under here.
Oh, I just remembered as well. I just realised I forgot to say as we were talking about this area, we've actually got storage underneath this whole chair as well. Which again, we don't really know what to do with. We've got 2 jumpers and a spare towel and some spare pillowcases under there, and that's it.
Okay, the exterior of the caravan. Now, Myrtle was in desperate need of a paint job. She had a lot of holes and she didn't look good. So we went with a white top, green bottom, and this nice little white stripe to break it up a bit. And it took a very long time. We sanded this back down to almost bare metal, and we had to use really thick primer on it because it had a lot of scratches in it. But we got there in the end. It's got a few dents still. I don't think we would have ever have got all the dents out. We would have had to replace all the paneling. But I'll take you around quickly. We couldn't be more happy with the way it came out. So we've gone with a DO35 hitch, which has actually changed the way the Caravan tows a lot. They actually spin a full 360. So if we ever have an accident or anything, it's not going to pull the car with us as well. It'll just be poor Myrtle spinning around. So we got that there. We put these
knock on some wood real quick.
Yeah, knock on wood. We put these nice chrome steel beams across here, which have started to rust. So we didn't think about that, but I'll work out something and we'll fix that up. I ended up reconditioning this shade vent here for when we're driving for the rocks as well. Another thing as well, this here, all our windows are actually perspex because I was redoing all the seals and the original glass was so old. As I was putting the new seals in, every single bit of glass cracked as I was going through. So I had to replace all of that, and there's a lot less weight now. The glass was incredibly heavy. So I'm kind of happy that they cracked and we had to replace them. This is our water inlet here, which goes to our tank. We ended up going with dynamic rims with 195 size tires, so a bit bigger than the 185s we originally had on there. And on the front axle, we got electric brakes, which I wired up all by myself. So it's really good having that knowledge on how they work, and they made a huge difference. So we'll come around here. There's the dog. Hello, Ollie. You just wanted to make an appearance, didn't you? So what this is here, I didn't even know these existed. So you plug in from the caravan park your water, and what it does is it changes the pressure of your water to go through your water system. If we just plugged in a hose, it would probably blow all our pipes. So we've installed that on the side there as well for when we are at a caravan park or whatever. Come around to the back, we've got a toolbox. I needed to bring some tools with me, so I've got everything that I could fit. Probably a bit too heavy, but I really wanted to bring it. So we've got our tools in there. We've got our spare tyre here and our diesel fuel tank behind the spare tyre, nice and hidden. And I must say, I filled this tank up about a week and a half ago, and we have barely even used a quarter of it, and we have been running that diesel heater for so long. Hey, we've been running it flat out. On the roof, we've got all the solar, which we're really proud of and really happy with that. We've had no leaks so far, so touch wood again, it's all going fine. Under the caravan, we got our diesel heater exhaust pipe coming out the side here. We got 110 litres of drinking water, which we'll use for showers and the dishes as well. And we got an 82 litre grey water tank on the front, which will be really cool when we're wanting to go to certain places and they don't allow you to not have a grey water tank. We also, while I'm under there, we have done all new bearings, all new hubs, all new brakes. Like we said, we had this whole thing down to bare chassis, so we reconditioned the whole chassis and repainted all of that. We also put roller rockers on, so we got a whole new suspension setup. We're a bit lifted as well, so we added an extra chassis to the chassis, so it gave us a bit more height, but not too much. It still looks original. Just another thing as well, with these caravans, apparently they have heaps of problems with leaking, so we have gone around the whole perimeter. All the J rails are fully sealed with Sikaflex, and we have not had any problems with water yet, touch wood.
So the last thing I wanted to chat about in this tour video was maybe talk about some mistakes that we made along the way, and
a lot.
Maybe even some things that we're planning on fixing and changing in the caravan, because as much as we are very, very happy with it, I just want to be as transparent as possible, being our first time renovation. It looks great on camera, I think, but if you look closely, it's not perfect.
But in saying that, before we do say it, we would have never have known these things until we had done them. Mm-hmm. So we've learnt a lot. Yeah,
and I think I just really want to stress that, because I watched 1,000,001 of these videos, and sometimes it can be very, very inspirational, and then other times you can get into those thoughts of we're never going to be able to do that.
But you better keep in mind these people have done it before.
Yeah. So I guess first of all, I just wanted to explain a few things that we might end up adding once we get our,
get in the groove of things.
Oh, well, I was going to say get our money back up
Oh,
there
yeah,
with a few things. So first of all, I think we may end up swapping out our toilet for a composting toilet eventually.
I would have loved to have incorporated a toilet that slides out.
Yeah, that's it.
We just didn't incorporate for that from the start, which we should have.
Yeah, well, I think, again, that was another confidence thing of how the heck are we going to waterproof that? Yeah. And it felt like such a huge hurdle just to get over the bathroom at all, and then I think adding something on top of that like a toilet slide just felt near impossible at the time.
But now I would definitely do it.
Yeah.
I'd get straight into that. Another thing is the wiring. I wish I had ran wires inside the walls more. We did run some, but we just didn't know that we should have ran more, like the charging cables that I've ran to the bedside tables and all that kind of stuff. I wish I had ran that inside the walls so there's not wiring running everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Now, we did have it like the downlight wiring and a lot of the wiring inside the walls, but I wish I had put more.
Mm-hmm.
So the fridge wiring sticking out and all that kind of stuff, which might be a blessing in disguise because we can access that, but I would have put it in the walls if I'd done it again.
But I think that's, just one of those things that
we wouldn't have known.
Yeah, it's just sort of experience. That being said as well, we still want to run a fan in our bedroom, so that's going to be some more wiring that we need to figure out, and we may possibly want an air conditioner at some point down the road. Our thought process is, well, we lasted 3 years in a troop carrier with no aircon, so surely we could
just see how
last in here. So
another thing is an awning. Heaps of people have been saying awning. We were kind of waiting to see how much we weighed, and I can say that we have not gone over our legal limit of 2 tons. We've come well under. So we will probably be getting an awning now. What else? We would have learned how to cut curved walls better. Oh my God.
I think the mistake was ever choosing to do something with curved walls.
Oh my God. So we've learned that lesson. We've learned that gap filler is your best friend. So drawers as well. Go back to the drawer thing.
Yeah. Also, I think caravan latches are another thing that you need to think about while you're in that build process. And again, just getting the drawers done at all felt overwhelming enough for us to add something on top of that as well. But, now that we know for the future, that's something that we will definitely be doing.
So the biggest learning curve was forward planning. Forward planning for everything. And now when we do the next build, which I think we definitely might be.
Yeah. But it's just knowledge, just having that knowledge in the first place as well.
Yeah. So anyway, there is the caravan tour. After 7.5 months, we finally did it, and it feels like home. It is incredible. We cannot wait to set off, hit the road, and who knows where this caravan is going to bring us.